How you doing? I didn't realise I yapped for so long in this video, but if you kind of want to just skip ahead to parts that interest you, just look at the description, scroll down, everything's there. I talk about quite a variety of things, but overall, everything's looking very positive for the summer this year. So, with that, let's now skip ahead and take a look at that video. Good day, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing right, 'cause it's time to have ourselves a lovely little yapping session. As you know, exactly what Mr. Micro said there, initiate the yap sequence. Off we go. So, what are we here for? I want to talk about something that I've noticed, and it's looking very, very, very positive at the moment. You may recall, we just went through the Easter time. You know, the spring months, February, March, April. Quite a lot of skins went down the price, and it was quite tragic. However, we're now in June. We just had the June Force Wipe, and there's the June Force Wipe Rust Store. Wow! But I've noticed a lot of skins have already been going up in price. And we've only just begun the summer. If you recall, last year we saw many skins reach new all-time high peaks. And well, I'm noticing a lot of skins already surpassing those. So shall we get to it? Now first of all, let's just take a quick look at this Rust store. So the sales are looking quite alright. The actual skins in the store, not everybody was super enthusiastic, but the sales are still looking very nice. Now the player count, we didn't reach over 200,000 yesterday with the Thursday Force Wipe. We didn't actually surpass 200,000 today either, which is quite surprising. Let's see if we do surpass it tomorrow when it's Saturday, when you're watching this video most likely. But just to point out, you see that bamboo cage large box? It does look like it's going to sell a little bit more compared to the small box, and that did over 25,000 subscribers, didn't it? Just want to point that out to you. Maybe it might sell a little bit too much, okay? Just put the warning out there. So quite some time back, to be specific, back in March, so that's a couple months ago, isn't it? I did talk about how things sort of behaved a little bit in the past, and of course during the spring months, and my expectations for the future. Now to reiterate, March, we actually found out that we're going to have the jungle update at the very beginning of May, back like halfway through April, and during April, we had ourselves a bit of a jungle hype, didn't we? Loads of green skins, whether it was weapons, deplorables, or even, of course, clothing and armour. That got bought out and things went a bit nutty. Did it hold, though? But I was hoping, combined with the idea of a lot of kids taking time off during the summer holidays. I mean, again, summer's subjective because we're all around the world. But in the Western world, June, July, August, those are the summer months. And that's where we see a lot of kids out of school for quite a long time. And are they going outside, running around in the sun and having fun? No, they're staying indoors in the dark and screaming at each other, playing Rust. A lot more people are expected to be playing Rust right about now. And with a lot more people playing, more demand for skins, higher skin prices, brand new all-time high peaks. That is usually how it rolls out. So here I talk about that. I'm sure some of you probably watched it. And I do bring up like camouflage skins and whatnot, as you can see there. And also quite some time back, I did mention it's probably a good idea to keep an eye out for those Christmas skins because they tend to be very nice long-term investments. So, you know, you can go give that a look as well if you want to. But let's hop over to here. As you can see, it's a little bit later after 24 hours of sales, but I need to actually showcase to you the front page of the Steam market, the Rust Steam market to be precise. Now, Heatseeker collection, that's been doing pretty good recently, hasn't it? But we didn't get a Heatseeker skin accepted this week. Oh dear. Has there been an impact on that? And why is there a Lunar New Year garage door on the front page? Huh, that's a bit odd. Now, fairly recently, I've noticed another certain skin on the front page a lot. Mummy wraps. Now, you might debate, oh, this is actually an item, it's made by Face Bunch. Fair enough, I understand. But yeah, that's like underwear skin. Every single year, this gets reintroduced around Halloween. And I noticed a bit of a trend. So if I could just quickly navigate over to here and point out in my inventory, I did buy 100 of these. I must have like traded one over and some of them got a little bit like out of the 100 stack. But yes, I do actually have 100 of these. I knew that every year these will sell for about $6. But during the summer, if you have the patience, they rise up in price ever so nice. Now last year they reached a new all-time high price. But guess what? We've already matched up to it. Let's scroll down. So as you can see, first of all, just under $11 at the moment, 103 listings. Looking pretty thin here. No big fat walls, no resistance. Barders climbing up with it. But if you could just see, we've had a massive surge just this past month. Look at that. I love that. But look at the lifetime. Look specifically in the past 2 years. Last year, during the summer of 2024, in which we saw a lot of people turning up for that, we peaked at what? Just about $12 plus dollars? We're getting very, very close to that. Look at this, and let me remind you, that was August time last year. We've only just entered June. If you understand, we don't see all the kids in the world having like vacation away from school just yet. It sort of happens around July, August time. Coincidentally, a lot of the skins peak in price around July, August time. And typically as well, if we could just go back over to here, to the player count. If you look at last year, you'll see that June, July, August last year, we had over 90,000 average player count. Back then, that was absurd. But, of course, in the past few months, it seems we've stepped up a level, and now we easily sit above 100,000, okay? Last year, as we were sitting here, May time, when we entered June, we got an extra like 15, 16,000 average player count. And that was very nice. That's where we've started to notice like a lot of skins doing very, very well. And well, here we are. The beginning of June, we had a bit of an awkward start because again, like it was like 5 days to hit the Force White. But here we are. The brand new update, tweaks, changes, silencers have been altered and whatnot. You get the idea. But from here and now, we can only expect better things. So yeah, it's not the most insane start for June, but this still feels very, very good for the summer overall. So, are we going to end up reaching to the levels of what we saw back in January? Maybe it might not happen until July, August. Maybe we might just fall short. But if we're just reasonably close, that's fine. January saw so many skins rise up in price ever so nice. I was there. I was selling my skins. I made tasty, wonderful profit. Oh, it was good. It was lovely. But honestly, if you're wanting to make some sales right about now, you're probably better off waiting just another month. And you might sit there and say, oh, Hedge, you've got 100 of those. You're just going to list all of them and then cause problems? No, I'm not that dumb. I'm not that dumb. I'll sell them reasonably. I'll sell them in batches of 3, wait it out. When they all sell, I'll put down another 3, let them all sell. I want to ride the wave of momentum. I don't want to put up a big fat wall and block it and ruin it, and then it'll go backwards and the price goes down. That's stupid. I want to get good profit. I don't want to kill my own profits. That's what I'm trying to establish, right? I'm well aware of things like that can happen, but I play it smart. So if you happen to own any skins, you should make considerations in regards to that as well. All right. So yeah, summertime. The outlook is positive. I'm feeling good, but we've only shown the mummy reps. Are there other things we can talk about? So over to here, Neon Lunar Serpent Garage Door. Do you remember this? It was a Lunar New Year skin that we got for this year, 2025. A lot of people, when they first saw this, they thought, oh wow, it's a sequel to the Neon Dragon Garage Door from the previous year. It's not. It's not. But they looked at the design, they saw the similarities, and that ended up getting almost 45,000 subscribers. Sold for $2.99 in the Rust store, and it did that amount of sales. Now, just to remind you, all of you, subscriber count is the bare minimum sales. This just means at least 44,862 people bought the skin. How many did they buy each? We don't know. But at bare minimum, they bought one. I can't help but assume a lot of people did probably buy like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, even 1,000. Do not be surprised by that. But yeah, that sold just a little bit too much. And then you have issues of, quantity versus genuine demand. If there's too much quantity, oh god. Then you got people who are competing with each other to make a sale. What happens then? Oh yeah, more listings keep appearing, and then the price suffers because they're trying to get that sale in. And when things start to look a little bit awry, yeah. Well, let me tell you now, it's been a few months since that was in the Rust store, and if I could just quickly show that Lunar New Year Rust store, so let's just go over to here. Lunar New Year, week 1, January 23, 2025. Oh, well, hang on a minute. That's not too bad anymore. I thought you said it was bad. I thought you said the sales were ridiculous. Well, it was ridiculous, but after this time has passed, now it's starting to rise back up in price. You also might remember we had the Snake Lord Garage store. She's still suffering, unfortunately. She's still suffering. And it has less listings. That's the funny thing. But give it time. Look at that nice thin quantity there, it should potentially rise up. Anyway, back to what we're focusing. This garage door here. If you look at its sales history, you will notice that it's been trending upwards. It reached a pretty bad point all the way around May, and then it's starting to climb back up again. Couldn't go any lower. But then people probably realised, oh, hang on a minute, it's actually a cool looking skin. So yeah, it's been climbing up. But remember what I just said a minute ago in regards to I don't intend to list a big fat stock, big fat amount of listings on the Steam market and whatnot so that the price keeps rising up nicely. Other people. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, it was literally on the cusp of $3 yesterday, then this guy appeared and just unloaded this stock. He fails to realise if he just waited just a little bit longer, he could probably got much better profit out of that. Now, I don't know, maybe he bought a bunch of them at like $1.50 and he's happy with that listing. Okay. But still, you want to get more profit, wouldn't you? So sell them in small batches. Ride the wave of momentum. Get more money potentially, all right? This right here, this garage door, it looks like it's actually going to go up even higher. I still believe it's going to get past that silly little obstacle and then it'll just rise up ever so nice. It's very thin there. That looks like it can work out very, very nicely. But just to repeat, no, it's not going to end up like the Neon Dragon garage door. That had a copyright issue. Only around 1,000 of them sold. This did about 45 times the amount of sales. Yes. So do keep that in mind. It's not going to end up being $500. Cool. Right, we understand. Cool. So, all right, that's a nice little insightful thing. Why don't we talk about like the heat seeker stuff? So let me just make sure I'm on the right thing here. I've got like everything all planned out. So let's go over to here we are, the MP5. I've had a few people talk to me about the MP5 because you're all fully well aware that that did an absolutely insane amount of sales. This has 65,000 subscribers. This was the third skin to be accepted in the Heat Seeker collection. And you're going to sit there and say, uh-oh. Right. So you know how I just talked a minute ago saying that subscriber count is just the bare minimum sales, but we don't know if the people who bought the skin actually bought a lot more? After everybody became fully well aware that the SAR had an insane transparent aim sight, very pay to win, by the way, the MP5 that followed it also had a very pay-to-win aim sight. No other MP5 compares to this, and no other like SAR compares to the Heatseeker SAR for now. We'll talk about that in a bit. This right here, the SAR did 39,000 subscribers. This did 65,000 subscribers. A lot more. And in theory, in terms of actual sales, in terms of actual like amount of skins in circulation, I wouldn't be surprised if there's 100,000 of them and more. And as you look here, you'll notice there's 2,266 listings on the Steam market. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Also, look at these people here listing 43 and 29 and so this is how it went down. There was a lot of these that are purchased. A lot of people bought them with the pure intent to sell. And as you can see here, why is there so many around $3.45? Because if you buy a skin for $3 and list it again at $3, it will add the tax and it will list it at around $3.45. So what happened? A lot of people bought them with the pure intent to sell. They started competing with each other. They started listing more and more stock lower and lower and lower. And it kept going down and down and down. Domino effect. And now here we are. Look at what we're in. Oh dear. That's not perfect, is it? No. But it's not surprising either. So you're going to sit there and say, oh no, is this skin doomed? Not necessarily, but it's not going to probably have a fun, period of time. Let's go with that, period of time. So the best thing I could compare to is this pair of Whiteout boots. This is doing pretty good at the moment. But it was exactly like the MP5 2 years ago. This was accepted back in May 2023 in a Complete the Sets. This was the last thing to be accepted out of all the Whiteout clothing and armour. Now, if you're fully well aware, Whiteout skins, they tend to be very in demand. Not much compares to it in terms of being nice white camouflage for the snowy biome and whatnot. You get the idea. But with that being the very last thing to be accepted, a lot of people just looked at it and went, well, all the other Whiteout skins are super high in price. Surely that will as well. Same thing. Loads of people bought it. That did how many subscribers? Let's go find out. Oh yeah, that did 64,000 subscribers. Very close to the MP5. Yeah. And again, 64,000 subscribers. Would you be surprised there's probably like 100,000 of these out in circulation? Probably. Anyway, so that came out 2 years ago. How did that perform? look at the first year of its behaviour, and this is what I expect for the MP5. Oh my, it went down. Now, of course, this sold at 99 cents. It had a pretty decent summer. It retained the interest, but it did slowly start to go down. And then when you enter September, October, November, things go bad. So what's so bad about September, October, November? We know how I said, like, during the summer, loads of kids around the world, they have, like, break from school, whether it's their summer vacation or just a different type of break. You get the idea. They're not in school. They're playing Rust. Well, they go back to school in September. We see quite a significant drop in player count, typically, normally, around September, October, November time. Kids go back to school. They have to focus homework and exams and school, and oh no. So, with less people playing the game, less demand for skins, lower skin prices. That sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? Yeah. It's a great time to buy, but for this Whiteout Boots here, yeah, it went down real bad. Sold at 99 cents in the summer, and it reached a very low point of about 40 cents American, around just at the very end of September, and then as it entered like October. So it got really cheap is the point I'm trying to get across. But from here, it didn't go any lower. From here, it slowly, gracefully rised up in price. It wasn't like instantly up in price, but as time went on, it's been slowly going up. And why? Because the demand was always there. It's just much like the MP5. At one point, this had like a few thousand listings. Like, if I can recall, the highest amount I saw was just over 3,000. Yeah, that's going to be a struggle for it to rise up in price. But look at it now. 2 years later, we have a respectable 88 listings. Now, of course, on third-party sites and whatnot, there's probably still quite a lot. Okay, fair enough. But after those 2 years, because there was genuine demand, it did slowly rise up in price. As I said, sold for 99 cents. Now it sells for double the price. Wow, that worked out quite nicely. Yeah, but it took 2 years. So if you happen to own any Heatseeker MP5s, you might be in it for the long haul, if you're patient, right? But if you're one of the people that didn't buy in on the MP5 and you're still curious about it, wait till September, October time. There you go. You'll be able to pick them up for a much cheaper price. Just, store them away, forget about them, come back to them in like a year's time. Oh, wow, they've gone up in price. Yeah, do not be surprised. Now, that sounds perfectly fine in theory if we don't see anything like that being accepted again, aka something with like a very similar AIM site. So if I could just quickly remind all of you, this AIM site, that is absolutely insane. Nothing compares to it. The amount of extra vision that you get is like actually super useful. I've seen like transparent AIM site pythons, and like it will remove like millimeters of like texture just so you can see just a little bit more. Does that justify the extra price? Not really, but for that right there, this MP5, I guess you could say yes. But again, far too many of them got bought. But give it time, maybe it might work out. But during the summer, at best, all right, if we keep seeing more Heatseeker skins being produced and accepted, and I know they're still being produced, we just didn't have a skin accepted this week, I can't help but assume it will retain its value. And as we see more and more people jumping into play Rust, when more people become aware of that, I won't be surprised if it probably climbs back up and goes slightly above $3. Do not be surprised by that. But September, October, November, you should expect a drop-off. All right? So we'll see how that goes, but you've been warned, okay? If we do see another MP5 like that with the AIM site, oh, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Which now brings us to the SAR. So the SAR. This was actually doing quite alright. Didn't sell too ridiculously. Still kind of did, but not too badly. For a reasonable amount of time, this has been it's been sitting at around $8 for a while. Okay? Cool. What's wrong? You know how I said we should worry if there's anything very similar to like that MP5 being accepted, it could cause problems? You know how it gets to Twitch drop soon? Yeah. Oh no. What's going on? Oh, it's this. So, what's that? Silver's Bellum Twitch drop? By the time I have this video out, like this actual video that you're watching right here, you should go look at my shorts. Because this is a Twitch drop that's going to be given away for absolutely free. And if I could just quickly navigate over to here and show you a nice little image, you might notice that, oh, that's the exact same AIM site as the Heatseeker SAR. Yes, it is. Dang. Okay, so That $8 price for the Heatseeker Star, that's probably not holding, no. No. Oh dear. But this kind of gives you the nice insight. And by the way, Bellum Twitch drops, they'll be released between June 25 to July 2nd. And if you want to get that Silver Star, go watch Silver stream. Just 2 hours of your time. Very easy. There's expected to be about 14 Twitch drops, 10 specific skins, aka you got to watch specific streamers for them. But yeah, and then 4 generic drops. Just watch anyone streaming Rust. Like me. Yay. Cool. So yeah, that's going to probably be a bit of a problem. You've been warned. The buy orders have disappeared because people have made some sales. But again, like by the time you're watching this actual video as it's out, don't be surprised the price has gone down. Do not be surprised, okay? So this is a problem that you can now be aware of. Cool. So back over to here, focusing skins and talking about like prices changing and whatnot. Let's now talk about some camouflage skins. So we've talked about memory wraps. Now let's talk about Whiteout in general. Typically, well, Whiteout's going up in price ever so nice. That's a good indicator that there's a lot of people playing because a lot of people want to get Whiteout skins because it's very good in the snowy biome. Cool. $18. Was it always that price? No, it wasn't. Scroll. Oh, look at that. It's reached your new all-time high price. Yippee. Now, that has already reached the peak price of what we saw for the January time. And like I said, January time was really good. Many skins reached new all-time high peaks. Ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else, it's the beginning of the summer. We still have another 3 months to go. I'm pretty sure we're going to go up even higher and higher and higher. Yep. So, looking at the layout, 1 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 1, there's like nothing there. No big fat resistance. No other people listing about 100 or 20 or 50. You get the idea. Yeah, that's going back up again. Unless we ever see an actual like batch of skins that do compare to Whiteout, like Face Punch accepting camouflage skins. Come on now. Get real. So, you know how everybody was really hoping to see some green clothing and armor being accepted during the jungle update? You know, the month of May where it made sense. No, you got your Reptile Hunter poncho and bandana, and that's it. We'll let you dress up as a tiger, by the way. Oh yeah, orange is great in the green jungle. Anyway, so I don't think we're going to be seeing anything white or light brown or green for quite some time. Maybe a Twitch drop, but we'll see. So yeah, Whiteout, if it's uncontested, it's just going to keep on rising up and up and up and up and up. And as I said, that's already reaching up to the price it peaked at back in January. And it's already surpassed like summertime. Like last year, we reached a lovely all-time peak. Look at that. It's like it's about 50% less. It's ridiculous. It's madness. But this is what keeps on happening. And you're now aware. All right? So if you want to buy one of those, you might want to hurry up. But don't be surprised if it drops off again as we reach around September, October, November. But don't be surprised if next year it's even higher. You get the idea. So something to look forward to perhaps in the long term. Now we have Desert Raiders. This is also going pretty wild. $31? What? Yep. Desert Raiders is like in the background, been slowly going up in price more and more and more. So if I could just quickly go over to here, type in Desert Raiders. I do believe the full set now is like $300. Let's go find out. Now, if you put aside the weapons, so if you had to up 6, 10, 20, put that aside. Yeah, the full set of Desert Raiders is now $300. Okay. Just the tier 3 is $120. Now, I've always said this. If you're looking for a nice alternative, Sand Rhino is perfect. If you're on a full set of Desert Raiders but don't want to spend that much money, you could save yourself about $100 and just buy that instead. $6.90, $6.50. Yeah, just use that instead of Desert Raiders tier 3. Yeah, it blends in perfectly. That's got like the right coloration. And then you're going to sit there and say, well, how come Face Punch didn't accept more of them? I just told you they don't seem to like accepting camouflage skins anymore. Look at the attempts. Look at all the hoodie pants, the tier 2, the boots and gloves. None of it accepted. None of it. I don't know. So if you're like, oh, I'm getting a little bit worried they might accept some more camouflage stuff in the future. They don't. They just don't. Many people, many skin creators, they've submitted perfectly fine options, but Face Punch just doesn't accept them. Maybe they'll change their tune in the future. We shall see. But if you're a little bit worried about like that, well, let me tell you, it will not surprise me if it just keeps on going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. New all-time price already. Yep. Madness. Cool. However, things have been a little bit different. Why on earth did Hedge bring up, like, the jungle stuff earlier in this video? Why did he do that? Because I have to address some funny things that have happened. We've already seen a lot of green skins go up in price. But then afterwards... So, here's Flashbacks pants. I'm not even going to bother showing the hoodie. I hate the hoodie. I absolutely hate it. Anyway, oh no. 11, 21, 21. Like, more big fat listings are starting to appear. But this is still better where it was. But since the jungle hype, it has been trending downwards. So if you look at this, there you go. Oh, okay. Now you see what's happened. Like, everybody got super hyped up back in, the middle of April. Loads of buyouts happened. Now, these skins... We've had the jungle update and whatnot, and lots of people have turned up to play. They have gone down a fair bit, but they haven't, like, crashed and burned. And as we progress through the summer, maybe we'll have, like, a big fat update again. And a lot of people turn up again. I'll talk more about that in a bit. But yeah, whilst it's trended downwards, you can still see something like this still likely trending back upwards as we go through the summer. If you feel confident, okay, cool, keep your head up. But when people are doing things like this... Might be problematic. Maybe we get past that. Oh, 222, 121, 111, like back up to $6 and beyond. It's all nice and thin. If you're one of these people, you might be smarter to remove those listings. I'm just saying. So that's Flashbacks. Then we have Reptile Hunter. Reptile Hunter went wild during the jungle hype. That is now sitting there at $8. That was almost $20 at one point. My goodness. And yet, right now, if you look at the price it is now compared to where we were at the beginning of April, that's still like a massive jump. But we were so much higher. We were so much higher. Give it time. I'm sure it'll probably stagnate a bit, then go back up a fair bit. Then, of course, September, October, November, back down a bit. Then, of course, post-Christmas, December rolling into January time, when loads of people around the world will have time off, not working as much, no school, play Rust. Prices go up again because a lot more people are turning up again to play Rust. So you get the idea. Cool. But yeah, that already went up a lot. And now... And then, of course, even Forest Raiders, even that peaked up in price about a month ago, and now, yeah, look at it. This was over $30 at one point, very nice and comfortable with lots of barders pushing it up, but even this has kind of regressed. Now, again, has it regressed by a lot? Not really, but will it stop eventually? And will it go back up again? Wouldn't be surprised. So, here we are. This is the Forest Raiders Facemask. Will you go back up to over $30? Well, let's just look at this. And by the way, if you're wondering how on earth am I able to see more listings, Steam Inventory Helper. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but just be aware it was an app. It was a extension that's available on Chrome. It was sold, so you will get like ads and whatnot on the side. So if that is something you're not very happy with, just giving the warning. But it is helpful. And as you can see here, 11131. I'm not seeing like big fat quantities. I'm not seeing other people doing foolish things. That very likely will rise back up to $30 again. I actually expect that. So, whilst a lot of green skins have kind of slipped, the expectation is they will recover and things should still be okay. All right? Is that a bit reassuring? Cool. So, is there anything else that needs to be addressed? I think we've gone through all the fun little things. Weapon barrel. Typically, I would normally say, if you want to get a nice indicator of the health of the economy, go look at the loot boxes. Go and see if they're trending upwards. Because if they're trending upwards, okay, cool. That means it's looking like the skins are going up in price. So here's the funny thing. That looks like it's trending up quite nicely there. Lovely. But then you look at its lifetime sales. Oh my, what happened? Well, we kind of went a bit wild back in early 2021. Long story. But anyway, look at here. And we reached a low point around April. And now we're starting to trend upwards ever so nice. And that is a perfect showcase. April, right where we had the spring season, the Easter dip, that's the lowest point, but now we steer towards the summertime, one of the best times to sell your skins. Lots of people playing, high demand for skins. We said that at the very beginning, I'm saying it again now. That is a nice positive outlook. So yeah, what would I say now? Go take a look at your inventories. As I said, I've already noticed some fun things here. I know Steam inventories are a bit awkward. You can still search for things like if I had to type in, I don't know, redemption. Here you go. And then you might have to try again a couple of times. There you go. Now I can see everything. Like, yeah, it's a bit awkward, but it's still visible. Go look at your inventory. Go look at all the skins you have and go look around and see if they're starting to trend upwards in price and whatnot. Because chances are you'll notice that they're actually starting to improve. Things are actually looking pretty cool. So, yeah. Lovely. Can't complain. I'm happy. I'm positive. I still got 40 of these MP5s dumped onto me. But I'll live, as I said. I understand that if I just be a fair bit patient, things should still work out quite nicely. Cool. So, let's see how things roll out. Let's look forward to the Twitch drops. So we have the Bellum Twitch event taking place between June 25 to July 2nd, and then we have FancyOrb's event taking place in July. Another global warfare. I don't have the link on me at the moment, I'm afraid. But yeah, just take my word for it, I guess. So yeah, I'm just putting out some silly things here and there on my Twitter. Feel free to go look in the description. You'll see the links to all my socials and whatnot. I'm always yapping. I'm always putting out certain things and whatnot. But yeah, overall, the moral of the story is things are looking pretty positive. Things are looking pretty sweet. And you now need to go look at your inventories. And now you need to go ahead and get a good idea of what's actually going up in price and whatnot. And make considerations if you want to sell right about now. Everything is expected to go up. And potentially to even higher points. So, cool. I think that's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. If you're wondering, oh, should I really wait a month? It's up to you. I have a lot of people always asking me, oh, should I sell now? You tell me, all right? You tell me, if the profit is looking good, is the profit good to you now? And then think about it this way. You could sell for a nice bit of profit, maybe now, maybe next month, but you should know that all the skins you sell right about now or next month or the month after that during the summertime, you very likely will be able to pick up for a cheaper price around October time. And then again, you can sell it again around January time next year. Yeah, you get the idea now. That's Ruskins. That's Ruskin investing. Just knowing when the high points are and when the low points are. There you go. That's it. You now figured it all out. Do I even need to make videos anymore? There's always new people, so yeah. All right, so yeah. That's it. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching me. Greatly appreciate it. Catch you later. Say goodbye. Addendum. I should have mentioned commits. So I'm adding this. Basically, if you want to be aware of all the new potential content that's going to be added to Rust, you should keep an eye on the commits. This is where all the devs are talking about the new things they're currently working on. A new menu. Changes to wind turbine sounds. Wow! But more specifically, if you keep up to date, you'll notice some very big things are being worked on, such as the naval update. We're going to be able to build our own boats. There's going to be a brand new monument that's going to be the floating cities in the ocean, apparently. When everything's on staging, we'll see that for ourselves. But basically, if you aren't fully well aware, we knew about the jungle update for about 8 months, and then it was accepted, or rather introduced. It's not like Skin's Edge, but yeah. Keep an eye on the commits. You can see what's being worked on. You can get a good idea of what they're going to be introducing soon. Banana bunch prop. I like bananas, they're fun. But yeah, like boat building and whatnot has been mentioned, and we're looking forward to that. And there's even a mention of a brand new pair of lights, set of lights. I'm not sure if it's replacing deluxe Christmas lights, but yeah, apparently some sort of fairy lights are going to be added. Oh, look at that. Wow, look at all the colours. Oh, that's going to be so much fun. But it's like the ability to position it better, let it slack more. Yeah, that's going to be a fun little decoration. Not sure if that's going to be added soon or around December time, Christmas time. Don't know, but they're working on it. I'm not sure if they're going back and going to change anything to the old Christmas lights. You know, the ones that are currently pushing up to $200. You know what? Maybe I should talk about that. An extra little thing at the very end. So if you aren't fully well aware, Christmas lights were introduced back in 2017, and that was that, just 2017. It was just available for 2 weeks, sold for what, $2.50, and they never brought them back because they don't use low fuel. They just glow. They don't really give off light. But to a lot of people, that's still very nice, and that's a very, very valuable item. So yeah, that was pushing up to $200. Some people must have noticed and listed theirs. But at the end of the day, that's still reaching a new all-time high peak. There you go. Yeah, even the valuable things are reaching new all-time high peaks. So, okay, cool. I'm looking forward to it. Yes. But things like that, it's nice to be aware. So the link to the commits is linked in the description. And just look at it once a day, once every 2 days, something like that. Just be aware of what's being worked on. And you could potentially be one of the first people to be aware of new content that's about to come out. For us skin investors, it can also mean we could probably make a move for certain skins that might be beneficial to certain updates. And yeah, you know, we knew about the jungle update. We knew about buying green stuff. I did talk about that back in January. Just saying. So cool. Right. So yeah, that's it. Player count. Let's hope you improve. Let's hope you go above 120,000 or more and beyond. We also have the summer sale, don't we? A lot of new people running into Rust and suffering like we all do. Lovely. So, cool. That's it. That's a wrap. Again, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you later. Sing bye.